Hey everybody, Captain B-Nard back here with another Wi-Fi battle. So today we have a rematch against Icy Dude, another guy we got off of Discord. So yeah, looking at his team on the right-hand side there, looks to be pretty strong and pretty interesting. Definitely a little bit of a rain team of sorts, which could definitely present a problem. So looking at my team, it is the same one that we have been using the past couple of games here. So, what do I want to lead with is the question. How do we want to play this? How do we want to play this? That is a good question. I think we're going to go with the Wifi in this one, actually. Partly because I kind of want to get it to do something, because we haven't really been able to do anything with it as of yet with this team. So hopefully we can, yeah, get it to do something in this one. So we'll see how that works out. And as I mentioned, we have faced this guy once before here on Scarlet and Violet. That was a pretty solid game, so hopefully this one will be the same. So, it looks like he is going to go ahead and lead with the Flamigo, which is definitely a little bit of a surprise as we lead with the Wifi. So, we have a little bit of a choice to make right out of the gate here. We definitely could potentially try to set up on him here. These things are usually choice in some way, the Flamigos that is. He could definitely pivot out, which I kind of expect him to do. So predicting that, I think we're actually just going to go straight to the Mudsdale here, because we don't want to just get our sash broken right out of the gate for no reason. So we're going to go ahead and switch in the Mudsdale, as he is indeed going to go for the U-turn. So that's going to do a little bit of chip damage to us. It is going to trigger our stamina to give us a defense increase, and it is also going to do some chip damage to this thing with the Rocky Helmet, which is nice. But unfortunately, he does get the pivot, obviously, so he'll be able to bring in any matchup that he wants to face the Mudsdale. And of course, it is actually going to be the Gold Duck. So that's actually a little bit of a surprise. But yeah, so I don't think we want to stay in on this matchup, as the Mudsdale looks kind of useful against his team here. So what do we want to switch into the Gold Duck? I think our best switch is probably going to be the Vaporeon. I'm not sure what kind of coverage Gold Duck is going to be packing here, but yeah, we're just going to go ahead and switch to the Vaporeon here. We don't really want to take a big water attack on the Mudsdale, so going to go ahead and come in with the Vaporeon, as he is going to go for a nasty plot, so that's actually pretty scary. He's going to go ahead and get that sharp special attack increase, so that's definitely not good for us. This turn, I think the best course of action is to just go ahead and try to hit him as hard as possible with the Shadow Ball here, so that's what we're going to do. He is actually going to go ahead and Terrasilize, which is definitely bad news for us. He's probably going to go into, let's see here, it's going to be a Grass type, so that is definitely bad news for us, because now he's got coverage for the Vaporeon, so bad news all around. He is going to go for the Terra Blast Grass here. And how well are we going to take this at +2? We can't even take 1, which is a real problem. That is going to go ahead and knock our Vaporeon out and drop us down to 5, as he is going to take some Life Orb damage there. So that's good to know for sure. So now, what do we want to do to this thing is the real question here. How do we want to play this? This thing is definitely a problem at +2. I think this might be our best bet, our best chance for the Wifi to actually do something for us, quite possibly. So I'm really thinking that is going to be the way to go. So yeah, that is, well, or is it? Or is it? You know what? No, because he is Terrasilize into a Grass type. So we're actually going to go ahead, instead, we're going to go ahead and come in with the Iron Jugulus. So we are Choice Scarf, so we know we're definitely going to outspeed him here. And we're just going to go ahead and try to hopefully one-shot him with an Air Slash here, as it is now super effective against him. He is not going to want to stay in on this matchup, though. He's going to save the Gold Duck for later, and he's going to go ahead and switch in with the Belly Bolt, which is obviously a problem. We do go for the Air Slash here, so that's not going to do much of anything to this thing, unfortunately. It is going to activate the Electromorphosis, and then he is going to get some HP back with the Leftovers. So that's obviously not great for us. We obviously can't really stay in on this matchup. I think our best and only switch in this situation is going to be the Mudsdale. I'm not sure what kind of coverage he might be packing for us, but we probably just need to go to the Mudsdale here, so that is in fact what we're going to do. We can't stay in being Choice Scarf locked to Air Slash. So yeah, we're going to come in with the Mudsdale here, as he is going to go straight for an Acid Spray. So that's not going to do too much damage to us, but it is going to cut our special defense harshly, which is a problem. Although we are going to go ahead and get the stamina to get a defense boost, which isn't really going to do too much for us. But yeah, he's going to go ahead and regain some HP with the Leftovers. Now, the only question is, I know this thing does get, I think, some chilling water, so some weak coverage for us. The only question is he going to go for that? This is going to be kind of a tough situation here, actually, because with that harsh special defense drop, I'm not sure that Mudsdale's really going to appreciate an attack. So, but at the same time, we don't have a lot of great switches in this situation. This is kind of a rough. We're in kind of a rough situation right now. If we double back to the Iron Jugulus, we're just kind of being in the same situation we were last turn. Although we're freed up from the Choice Lock. I feel like we have to stay in here. We're just going to try to set up a Stealth Rock, actually, as he is packing Muddy Water. He's going to go for that, and we can't take that, so that's really bad. Wasn't sure if this thing even got that, but indeed it does, so he's going to go ahead and take us out with the Muddy Water and knock us down to 4. So this is going very poorly for us at this point. We really need to try and do something to turn this around now. And what is that exactly going to be is the question. I think the best thing we got... Yeah, losing Mudsdale is a big problem at this point. I think the best thing we got at this point... This is bad. It's definitely a bad situation for us at this stage in the game. Yeah, I think the best thing we got right now might be the Grafai Eye. I think now is probably, if there's ever going to be a time that we're going to make something happen with the Grafai Eye, it's going to be now, I think. So we're going to come in with that. And so I think our only chance here is just to go ahead and try to set up a Swords Dance on this thing, and then perhaps try to set up to do some huge damage. That might be our best option here. So I think we're going to go ahead and do just that, as he is indeed going to go for the switch. So that's good news for us. What's he going to want to come in with? It is going to be the Fortress, kind of as expected. So he's going to come in with that. We are going to go for the Swords Dance, get that +2 physical attack. So the only bad news here is we only really have one thing to hit this thing with, and that's the knockoff. So we're going to go for the +2 knockoff here, see how much it does. He stays in, we go for it, and that is not going to do nearly enough damage to this thing, unfortunately, as he is going to go ahead and go for the Stealth Rock to get that set up on us. So that is definitely not good news. Not good news at all. So now the question is, what do we want to do? Because unfortunately, if we do switch the Grafai Eye out, when we come back in, our sash is going to be broken. So that is definitely bad news for us. We could, if we go for another knockoff, it's really not going to do much of anything, unfortunately. I think probably the only thing we can do here is just U-turn out and try to get a more favorable matchup. So I think that's what we're going to do here. We'll see what he wants to do. So we are going to U-turn out, going to do some chip, knocking this thing down to about half, which is nice. We do get a crit there, which I guess is kind of decent in the long run. And now we have to decide what we want to bring in on this thing. Unfortunately, all of our good switches to this thing are gone. So really, probably the best we got is going to be the Hariyama. So we're going to go ahead and bring that thing in. So we're going to come in with that, and we're going to take some Stealth Rock damage here, as he is going to go for a Gyro Ball, so that's not going to do too much damage to the Hariyama, fortunately, and then we are going to get burned off of the Flame Orb. So that is definitely what we need here to try and hopefully build some momentum. So the only question is, does he stay in on this matchup or not? I feel like he might go for the switch here, as there's probably not too much this thing can do to us. So I think we're actually just going to go ahead and go for the knockoff here, predicting that as he does stay in, we go for the knockoff. It's not nearly enough to get rid of this thing, so it looks like he's just sacking this thing off as he just goes for a Gyro Ball here to get some more chip, and then we do take some damage there from the burn. So unfortunately, based on that damage, we know that we cannot take him out with another knockoff, so we can't really play it safe here. So we're pretty much just going to have to go for the close combat now. And yeah, we just go for that, and we take out the fortress there, which is something. So that is going to cut our defenses, which is not the best, obviously, but it is going to get rid of the fortress and knock him down to 5, which is something, as we do also take some more burn damage there. So we'll see what he wants to bring in here in response. It is going to be the Flamigo. I kind of figured that was going to happen. So unfortunately, with our defenses dropped, we're kind of in a bad situation here. I kind of don't want to lose Hariyama, but at the same time, that may be unavoidable at this point. We could definitely go for a Bullet Punch to try and chip this thing on the way out, but I kind of don't even think it's worth it. So I think the best thing we can probably do in this situation is go ahead and switch into the Grafai basically as fodder, so that we can get a clean switch into something else here. So that's what we're going to do. So there it is. And we are going to take the Stealth Rock damage, breaking our Sash. Unfortunately, he is going to go for the Brave Bird as expected, and we cannot take one of those. So that will take the Grafai out and knock us down to 3, as he is going to take some recoil damage as well. So now we have a little bit of a choice on our hands here. We could double back into the Hariyama, because we can potentially take this thing out with a Fake Out Bullet Punch combination. Or we could try to do something else here. I feel like our best bet... Oof. What do we do here? What do we do? I think we're actually going to go into... What do we want to go into? Yeah, I don't know. This is not much time to decide here. I think we're going to go into the... we're actually going to go into the Iron Jugulus here. So we're going to come in, take the Stealth Rock damage, and so this might scare him out, potentially. But let's see, how do we want to play this here? I think what we might have to do, what's going to be our best bet to try and salvage this game right now is the real question. I think our best bet in this situation is probably, he could very well stay in, but he does have a pretty perfect switch to us, so he might not want to do that. So I feel like he might not stay in, actually. So I think we're actually going to go for a Dark Pulse here, predicting a switch. He does actually stay in. We outspeed. We go for the Dark Pulse. It's not quite enough to take him out, unfortunately, as he goes for the Brave Bird, and we can actually barely survive that there with 19 HP in the red, as he actually survives the recoil damage from the Brave Bird, which kind of sucks. But at that point, there's just no reason not to go for another Dark Pulse and take him out. So he does stay in. We go for the next Dark Pulse, and that will take out the Flamigo and drop him down to 4. So obviously he's going to know we're Scarf at this point, but it's not really going to matter too much, because unfortunately we can't switch out at this point, because we're going to go down to the Stealth Rock if we do. So he's going to come in with the Pelipper, get the Drizzle to set the rain, of course. There's no reason for us to just not go for a Dark Pulse here, so that's exactly what we're going to do. Of course, we outspeed. Dark Pulse is going to take this thing down by over half, which is nice, but unfortunately, he is going to survive. He goes for the U-turn, and we actually survive the U-turn with 2 HP, which is pretty funny, actually. So we are going to be able to live one more turn with the Iron Jugulus, as now he comes in with the Gold Duck. So this thing is going to more than definitely have Swift Swim activated, but we really have no choice but to stay in here and Dark Pulse again. He is actually going to outspeed us thanks to that, and he's going to go for the Ice Beam, which will obviously be more than enough to take us out from that range and knock us down to 2, as he does take some Life Orb recoil once again. So we're definitely in a bad position here. There's no two ways about it. We're in a bad spot for sure. Down to our last 2. What is going to be our best bet to try and save this game is the question. I feel like the only thing we can do at this point is go ahead and switch into the Armarouge. So our only hope at this point is we come in with the Armarouge. Obviously, we take the Stealth Rock damage. Our only hope here is we're going to go ahead and pop our Terra as well, turning into a Grass type, trying to bait the water move that we will resist, and then we have to hope that we can take this thing out maybe with a Psyshock, because with the rain up, I don't think Armor Cannon's the play. So yeah, I think that's really all we can do is go for the Psyshock. So we are going to go ahead and pop our Terra, of course, and we are going to go into a Grass type here. So there it is. And we know he's going to outspeed us. He is going to go for the Surf here, and we can actually take that. We survive with about a quarter of our HP. He is going to take some Life Orb recoil. We are going to go for the Psyshock in return, and it's not quite enough to take him out, which is really unfortunate, as we do get some HP back with the leftover. So the Psyshock not quite strong enough to take him out, so that really sucks. There's not a lot we can do at this point. We pretty much just have to stay in and just go down, as he is going to outspeed us, and an Ice Beam is going to take us out. So that is going to take out the Armarouge and drop us down to just one Pokemon. So our last Pokemon here, of course, as he does take some Life Orb recoil, which will actually finish the Gold Duck off, which is something, I guess. That's going to knock him down to 3, I believe. But our last Pokemon here is going to be the Hariyama, so we are going to go ahead and come in with that. He is going to send the Float Cell in, because why wouldn't he? As we do send in our Hariyama. So we do take the Stealth Rock damage here, and yeah, really the only thing we can do is go for a Fake Out, so that's exactly what we're going to do. It is boosted by Guts. It does actually do a pretty sizable amount of damage to this thing, but not nearly enough to take it out, obviously. As we do take some burn damage, buys us one more turn, and all we can really do here is go for the Bullet Punch, although it's not really going to matter, because there's no way the Bullet Punch will take him out from that range, as it knocks him a little below half, but he is just going to go for a Liquidation in return. Gets a crit, which definitely didn't matter, and that is going to finish off the Hariyama, and that is going to be game. So we are going to lose that one 3-0 to Icy Dude. That was a pretty good match. Pretty competitive. Definitely feel like I could have made some better decisions in the early goings of that game, unfortunately. And he got ahead early, and there wasn't a lot we could do to kind of pull it back toward the end. We gave it our best shot, but yeah, couldn't quite get it done. And unfortunately, these weather teams the past few games have really been giving me some trouble here. So yeah, what can I say? I guess this team was not designed with weather in mind. But yeah, still a good match nonetheless. So thanks for watching again, everybody. Hope you all enjoyed. Please hit that like button, leave a comment, and or subscribe if you did enjoy. And stay tuned for more new battles in the future. So that's it, and we'll see you next time.